I was not going to do this, but somebody has to speak up. What I did to resolve the problems that I had with Microsoft FS, y'all know what that could stand for, 2020, loading problems. Excuse the noise outside. I got the windows open. It's hot today. For error code 0x800700005. That is caused by, they call it lack of rights, or you don't have the authority to update whatever you're trying to update. Well, a little history on that. That can be caused by rights, or usually caused by either Microsoft's login or by your virus program. I found out if you have more than one antivirus program, they interfere with each other and it could keep programs from updating. So I removed an extra antivirus program that I did not know was on my computer. As you can see on the screen, this particular program has been causing problems with people's PC. I'm gonna leave it at that. I stick with Norton, and once I removed that particular program, I was able to update the game. The next patch they came out with gave me an error code of 0x80073CF as in Foxtrot 9. I looked that one up. That turned out to be a Microsoft Store error. Now, a little bit of history. When you set up your PC, which I did not know, this is my first Windows PC, Windows 10 PC, I meant to say. This is my first Windows 10 PC. And when I set up my ID, I did not know that when you set up your ID in Windows 10, it automatically updates you and registers you with the Microsoft Store. That should not be. Microsoft literally takes over your computer with something they call a digital ID. We'll get to that later. When I ordered the game, it asked for a Microsoft email address or a Microsoft account. Now, I had a previous account that I've used, but I didn't know that Microsoft had registered me with another email address through Windows 10. I didn't use my Microsoft 10 ID. I used my Microsoft Store ID or my Microsoft account ID. Since the two IDs don't match, eventually it got to the point where I could not install, reinstall, or update the game. I went through this for several days trying to figure this out. Once I figured that out, I had to create an ID, another ID on my computer, even though the game's been installed and it didn't work anymore. I had to create another ID on my PC that matched the second ID that I had with Microsoft, which was a hotmail.com email address. Once I did that, I was able to download the game. So that got past the 0x80073CF as in Foxtrot 9 error message or error code. Now, through all this, I've uploaded questions to the forum and I've called Microsoft to no avail. Didn't get any help. When I finally got through to a person, which I thought was a person, I heard something like this. Microsoft, can I Now, if you have somebody answer the phone like that, there's nothing you can do. You cannot understand them. And of course, they can't understand you because they're speaking in a foreign language. Okay. All right. Enough of that. So anyway, that's what went on. I used that, and that's how I resolved the download issue. I finally got the download to work on the 1st of October at 10:30 p.m. Last time I did the download, it took about 4 hours. This time, the download took 2 days because periodically, either Microsoft or my internet service provider will stop the download. For what reasons, I don't know. I think they're trying to say a person's taking too much bandwidth, which I'm not. I checked my account. I have not used too much bandwidth for the month. As a matter of fact, I was about 50%, something like that. So I called Comcast, but Congress has passed a law and the FCC said it's okay for your internet service provider to slow your connection down whenever they want to, or they can terminate it whenever they want to, even though the bill is paid. I didn't think it was a good idea. A lot of people didn't think it was a good idea, but for some reason, it never made it to the ballot. Anyway, after the update, of course, I got the same error a lot of people get when you pull up the map just before landing. The program crashes and goes to the desktop. It never did that before. So when they fix one problem, it seems like they add 2 or 3 more. What makes me upset about the whole thing is that they did all this to update what is it, Japan? I don't fly to Japan. And one reason why the game takes so long to download is because of the scenery. Now, why couldn't they sectionize the scenery? Divide the scenery into sections. So if you want to fly overseas, that's when you download that. And then why every time they do an update, you have to download the whole game all over again? I don't understand that. It doesn't make sense to me. X-Plane seemed to get it right. Microsoft has more money than X-Plane, and they can't get it right? I have issues with that. Anyway, by reloading the game, I've lost all my logs, my captain's log, all my flight logs that I've done, previous flights I've done, training I've got scores for and everything. All that's gone. But I don't care. I'm just glad the game works again. So, like I said, I wasn't going to get on here. I was not going to talk. I was not going to blog. I was not going to, but it just got the best of me this time. I'll keep y'all updated. Some more stuff. I'm going to start keeping a book on this stuff. And maybe Microsoft or one of the engineers will check out one of these videos if it gets like 2 or 3 million views and finally get it right. I'm out.